So
I will anyway. Once this the start, I can unmute it. Okay.
No, what I suggest you, Mr. Sunil,
It is right now. Recording is in a pause because if it is a continuation on a recording one, then everything will be recorded. So I just
no,
want to start it
I'm
from.
not recording on narration on my PowerPoint.
Oh,
That
narration on
has
your
to be stopped.
PowerPoint. Okay,
That
you can just press F5 and it will be done.
F5. Okay, I'll do.
Function F5. Or otherwise you can you will see, right, very first one, start from beginning one. You can see that the tag over there on your banner under the Windows symbol on very top.
I'm trying, but say, can you play in case?
Let me, okay. Request a remote control. Please accept my request.
Approve. Yeah, I am approving here.
Yes. Okay. So click here and it will be start doing.
No, but once it will start my speech also, my narration also. So how
Oh,
to
where is
stop
your
that narration?
narration?
How to stop that narration?
Hold on. Let's will see. Okay, what is the narration? It's been starting. Let me. Why it is not started? Okay, is it's doing something at your end or?
No, it is inbuilt in the slide.
If it is inbuilt in the slides, you can just mute in a slide. That's it.
I do not know how to do it. That's it.
Oh, hold on. Okay, okay, can you start one of those one? I think I cannot from here one. It's just the spinning. So can you at least start one slides and show me what exactly?
I don't. I'm not getting it.
there is
No.
slide, no?
Okay, hold on.
Slideshow is not working.
No, slideshow is coming with the narration.
Yeah, so that is they just want to. Okay,
See.
so can you click on home, please? Can you click on home, please?
Home.
Home button, yes, over there.
Ah.
Okay, now if I can hold on. Mm. Oh,
I have to just close all the narrations.
no,
That I
that's
don't.
fine. That's fine because once you have, so that is why you can click. Can you click on start from beginning? Okay, I'll try, but it is not. Okay, click on just that the button start from beginning.
Okay.
No, very first one, right? Start from beginning in a banner slideshow.
You will have to give me 2-3 minutes so I can
Okay.
delete all the things.
Okay, not a problem.
I'm manually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm reasonably done now. Okay, sir, we can proceed.
Save it, yep, and then after.
Yeah, and now I'll be doing it. It's okay.
Okay.
So sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, we can start. Dr. Kachara, sir.
Yes. Please, you can start your lecture, please.
I start, sir.
Yes, please. Yes.
Now, friends, welcome to the lecture series on the karma and science. For a long time, karma was considered a theoretical subject till recently, when scientific exploration started giving it a physical shape. I will make you conversant with the scientific aspect of the karma. In my 5 lecture series, I have devoted the first 2 lectures to the anatomical and functional background of this wonderful organ, the nervous system consisting of the brain and the peripheral nervous system, including autonomic nervous system. Next, I'll be taking you onto the sensations and the perceptions. And the last one will be on the higher functions in the human, such as mind and cognitions, as relevant to the karma. In today's deliberation, I'll take you along the intricacy of the anatomical and the functional characteristic of the brain, physiological aspects in the very simple language to be understood by you. I'm sure you will be able to make out something good out of it. How does the brain and mind gets connected? Very important point to know. And how learning take place and where it occurs. That is the portion where our memory is stored, our functioning of the brain is stored. What is our CPU in the brain?
Dr. Sanchetee,
Yes, please.
can you make it full screen, please? The slides.
Okay, sir.
It's not full screen as yet.
What is coming now?
No.
No, from at my laptop, it is full screen.
Okay, not on my.
Oh, okay. Can you, okay, if you can click on start from beginning over there or F5, I don't know, whatever is the model, but there, or otherwise you can say from the current slide, you can see on a banner, right? Can you click that button? And we may see it, you know, that on a banner one. Okay, yeah, slideshow, click on slideshow and from current slide. Yep. From, no, not from the custom one, from the current slides. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, double
Yes,
click.
yes, that one.
Double click it.
Now it's coming, sir.
No. Double click it, so it will become a slideshow. Or otherwise, yeah, you can say start slideshow from beginning. Okay, that's fine too.
Now it's fine.
Okay, it's not there, but it's okay. You please carry on then.
Thanks a lot. Now, classical Jain doctrine puts the whole functioning of the human body into the 3. They are 3 compartments: soul, mind, and the body. However, the mind has been not elaborated in the further, whether it is a with the brain or whether it is a independent of the brain. As far as we know, science knows, the brain is an interface between the body and the mind. While soul cannot be quantified with the scientific gadgets which we have got, mind and the brain are areas of the great research. And body, of course, is being understood by the Google and by the science in a great detail. We feel that they work in unison. Last 50 years, lot of advances have taken place. particularly due to the investigative abilities which we have got. The brain or the nervous system, not the brain, nervous system can be divided into the two parts, central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Later on, autonomic nervous system, which was not understood earlier, has been added to it, and that's perhaps the most important portion. The brain is a very soft structure, a very precious structure for us. It is protected by a series of the membranes, three membranes, dura, arachnoid, and the pia, encased in the skull and the vertebral column. You may not agree that all animals have some form of mental life. Whether they have got this equation, soul, mind, and body in them or not, is a point of disagreement or agreement. Ancient, we were not very sure where lies the intelligence.
प्रताप
It
साहब
was
आपकी
the heart.
स्लाइड आगे नहीं बढ़ रही है.
Pardon, sir?
There's no slideshow.
What I feel that if I go into the normal slide, it will go. Otherwise, it will not go.
Can you
Yeah.
not change slides? Okay, Might
I'll go like this.
okay.
So ancient, the heart was taken as a seat of intelligence. Our all epics, our all academic or the general literature says heart as the one where the intelligence is there. मेरा दिल दुखता है, मेरे दिल में ये होता है. There. What important point in the brain, which we understood, is it is only 2% of the body weight. It is consisting of the 100 billion neurons, length being 1000 kilometers. And neurons, very important one, they are largest cell body in the human body with the no mitosis. It carries the impulses at a very fast speed, but not only the neurons, it is the glial cells, the cells which binds the neurons. They are much more important. They are 10 to 50 times more than the neurons. But important point are the last two. Brain utilization of the oxygen, total body oxygen, 1/5 in spite of 2% body weight. It utilizes 20% of the oxygen which is available to the human body, and also the approximately to the same, the brain or the blood also is being circulated in the brain. This slide tells you that how brain is an important one. While water content is almost same, it is more lipid. When you touch it, it is slimy. It slips under your body and in the hand. But what important is the proteins are not there. It is more with the lipid and the carbohydrates. This is the beauty of the nature, that the brain is folded into the many, like a quilt. You fold it and make it a smaller bag. The brain also has been made a very smaller bag. And this bag is if you spread it out, it's a very big one. It increases surface area and the complexity. Coming to the three portions, the hindbrain, midbrain, cerebellum, and of course the main cerebrum. Hindbrain is the one which is located at the back of our head, consisting of the medulla and pons. I'll not be touching them. Midbrain is the one of the thing which develops as the animal or the human being progresses, the midbrain comes into the action. Cerebellum is the one which is more important or more in the animals than in the human being. Though it has got 10% of the brain weight, it is only out of 1400 grams, it is only 140 to 150 grams. But it has got 80% of all neurons. That's a very important one. Till now, we were believing that it controls the posture, balance, locomotion, and the eye movements. But now we are getting it more conversant with its functioning. It works for the memory, emotions, sensory discrimination, and many more are likely to come in the future. So cerebellum is one of the important organs. But main important is the cerebrum, or the largest, or the human. In the human, it is much more developed in the human than in the any other animal kingdom. And it divides into the 4 portions based on the bones which are there, like frontal bone, parietal bone, occipital bone, and the temporal bone. Frontal bone, or the frontal lobe, it is the main area which is differentiate you from the animals. It is the area where speech is there, reasoning, planning, part of movement, emotions, problem solving. Another important one is the temporal lobe, which are on the side. In the animals, it was only for the hearing or the audition, but now in the human being, it has got important role in the memory, emotions, and the perception of the speech. Taking to the parietal lobe on the top of the head, it is where our all sensations are coming and they are being interpreted. But it has got many small, many specific jobs, but we are not very sure what are they, and we are trying to explore it. Occipital lobe, long it was related to the vision or sight, and we are now getting it more that it carries out many functions, including the memory. And coming to the some deeper structures, thalamus, hypothalamus. What important are the pituitary and the pineal? These are the small glands. Pituitary is small. The pineal and the pituitary are little smaller. Hypothalamus is, so they are very, very important, though they are small. Pituitary controls all growth and hormones. Pineal is the one which comes into the action for our circadian or our day-night rhythm. It carries the functioning of the melatonin, which helps you in the sleep. But it's a belief in the scientific, not scientific, sorry, I'm sorry, not getting the word, but in the religious literature, it is taken as a third eye or the seat of the soul. Science has yet to prove. What important point? Prefrontal cortex, the area which is there in the front only, is the one which is there, I told you, in the planning, formulating goals, attention span, behavior, and many more. The more important one is the limbic lobe. They are group of structures which have got emotional functions, basic functions of the human body, and it has got hippocampus related to the memories. Amygdala, very important for the emotions, anger, but important is rapid judgment is being carried out here. That receives emotional signals and sent to the prefrontal lobe. And it is inhibitory to the amygdala. But what important point, that apart from these lobes, the main lobes, there is a large area of the association cortex. It means they all are interacting to each other. And they are getting informations being intermingled, and then being complexly intelligent persons, they get more. So more the person is intelligent, he will have a higher level of the association areas. Now this is the homunculus. This is the where, if you look into this particular on the left side, the area in the brain is represented, or it is being, area in the brain is occupied by the lips like this one, hands that much. And if you look into the legs and the trunk, very small area. So this tells you that the nature has designed the brain in a beautiful way, where organs are given the representation as per their importance and not as per their size. Another one, which the famous one is, I often say, left is not right. and right is not left. Right is always on the left. Our left side of the body is represented on the right side, and the right side of the body is represented on the left side. So these are the two one, and important one. The left side of the brain, usually we call in the layperson language, is the logical brain, and the right brain is the perceptual brain. जो मैं दर्शन की जो बात करते हैं, perceptual are, but they are not independent. They are being connected by the area or the organ known as corpus callosum. Spinal cord, very important in the lower animals, and the human, it is less important. It is a long structure. And if I put it, it is in this 33 column vertebral column, 33-story building, in which it is being encased. Mythologically, Kundalini is also said to be there in this spinal cord, but scientists have not substantiated. A short word about the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, that is the part of the autonomic nervous system. Just to summarize, sympathetic is like a fight and flight. It is like a horse which responds quickly and it ends its journey after few minutes or few hours. Whereas parasympathetic is rest and digest. It is like an elephant which doesn't bother too much. And once it bothers in very furious way. So the sympathetic controls our blood pressure, pulse, our respiration, eyes, and other things. And the reverse jobs are there in the parasympathetic. I'll not take you right now into this slide, but glial cells, I told you earlier, 10 to 50 times more than the nerve cells. So the supporting cells, they are very important than the primary cells. Synaptic and other transmissions. The transmissions which occur in the brain is very, very, very quick, accurate, and perfect. It occurs both through the electricity and through the chemicals. Chemicals are of the two types. Either they excite the neurons or they inhibit the neurons. In addition, there are peptides which modulate the actions, hormones which modulate the actions of these excitatory or the inhibitory neurohormones. Look into this one, and many of you are conversant with the computer. Perceptions receive the informations from the internal and the external environment. It processes based on the memory and the experience, like your CPU. Plan a function and response. And then what you see is this beautiful slide which is there in front of you, execution as per the appropriateness. It controls all our body actions. Mind you, body, each organ has got many functions, but the main control is in the brain, being its emotion, movement, thinking, and behavior. But differentiate from the computer, it's the online monitoring and changes in the plan, which is much more important in the brain, and which is there perfect in the brain, not in this one. Perhaps the artificial intelligence may be answer to this. Now I have given you a brief account of the structures of the brain and its various constraints. And I told you that it guides all body functions. There is utmost need of amalgamating advancing scientific knowledge with the ancient philosophical knowledge. I'll take you to the second portion of my lecture, which is there on the structure and functioning of the nervous system, part 2. Extent of the brain and mind in animal kingdom. Are we the sole people who have got the brain? How does brain and mind functions? And to appraise you some of the special qualities of the brain and mind. I already told you. Advances in the brain studies have come through the specific investigating tools, being it radiological, like computed tomography, CT scan, MRI, PET scan, genetic studies and epigenetic studies, and cytochemical. But perhaps the biggest thing which has come to our help is the fMRI. MRI while doing functioning in the brain. One important is the brain weight increases as the requirement of the body or requirement of the mind and the intelligence increases. However, it is not a linear. In the Homo sapiens, this is the one at if I can see the arrow, it is there here in the Homo sapiens. But in many elephants and in the blue whales, the brain is much bigger than this. Who has the best brain? Perhaps the human being. Take the examples of all other animals. They are smaller and less convoluted. They are not complex ones. The question which is there, which science may differ with the religion, is do all these animals have got the mind? Even today morning, when I was sitting outside, having my cup of tea and watching the small ants which are there, they were planning a lot. They were having the functioning. They were carrying on this one symbiotically, working together. So, is it possible that they also have got the mind like we have got? So, and even within human being, a laborer or a white collar person, do they have got the brain of on the mind of the equal magnitude? The big question, I personally feel they have got the same, only the expressions are different. Transmissions, I already told you, neurochemicals. And each neurons have got a fatty covering over it, like a lipid, you have got an insulating portion on our electric wires. Same thing is there in the human brain. Another point where I differ with the explanation in the religion, that brain, mind, and the body, they are different one. It's not so. To a scientific understanding, are in the series, they both work in the series and they work in the parallel. So from the sensations, it comes to the body, brain, mind, and the soul. And soul also is an individual and the universal soul. That is perhaps the philosophy on which I usually believe and I work. Important point. The brain has developed into the three proportions. Reptilian brain, like a snake. Whenever anything which harms him, it bites, it attacks you. And that is the same thing, but it is the lowest portion of the brain, which is there in the little pink and the violet color. Another is the mammalian or limbic brain. Like you see, it's basically with the emotions. It's the early cortex. It's like a mother having the love for the child. Or it is the cow which has got for its own, only it's a cow which has got it for the small cow, this one. So the human and neurocortex. So this is the third one. So from the small, in the lower one, you can see from the green to yellow, the limbic lobe, and the blue, the largest one is the human or neocortex. What I have always put it, that we should work at the level of neocortex and not compete with the others, even within our sleeves and with our other animal kingdoms on the reptilian brain. We should compete on the neurocortex. We should analyze it. What important point, another one, is the homeostasis. As I told you in the beginning, in the last lecture, that the brain has got an online monitor, online control. So any change in the circumstances, minute to minute, second to second, and microsecond to second, it changes its functioning to suit and develop for as per the new. Till now, we were believing that the brain is a static organ. It's not so. It's a plastic. It has capacity of being molded or altered, and its changes are occurring throughout our life. And it is more, or it was in the children. So the learning phase, the brain and the neurons, they are being modulated to all the environmental learning. So the children are the one where we should dedicate our timing and energies. And what important is, it plasticity, ability to change, involves neurons, glia, vascular cells. In fact, every cell in the body has got a plasticity or ability to change. This is the one. I'll not take you into the complexity. Default mode network. It is the network which works when you are at peace, when you are not at any actions, when thinking is undisturbed. And when thinking goes disturbed, it goes down, it becomes suppressed, and the active brain comes out. So they say, for the perception, you must develop the default mode network. Memory is the one which is there in the impulses come from the sense organs. At thalamus level, I have not told you in the detail. It is a shorter, it sort out all the informations. Hippocampus organizes. Then short-term memory, it is usually for the 7 items and seconds. And after some time, you loses it, unless you keep on repeating it. If you keep on repeating it, rehearsing it, it becomes a working memory. And long-term working memory becomes a long-term, like you have got a hard disk in the computer. This is the RAM, this is the part of the RAM, and this is the hard disk. These are the points. I'll just skipping this slide. What happens that these are the lanes or different type of the and which of which the emotional memory is much more important. When stored in one lane, it becomes more powerful. And what our aim should be to improve the emotional memory. Every day we prune, we cut, like our hair cutting, we cut and shape our memory organs in this one. Keep brain cells active. Use it or lose it. A very common phrase in our science. Use it or lose it. That is how you can avoid dementia. Some of the research potentials. Can we study in more detail human brain from fetus to adult and all relevance to the functions at each stage? Compare brain size and structure in different species, including human. Role and relevance of the pineal gland, one of the very important gland. Whether it has got a relevance in the kundalini, or whether the spinal cord also has got a say in the kundalini. Another part, or whether it is a hypothetical element. Changes in the brain, different areas in the brain with meditation. This is the area of research all over the world. So to conclude my today's lecture, brain and mind control and guide all body functions. However, a lot is still needed to be explored. Intricacy related to 10 ratio to 15 interconnections. So it is not only the number of the cells, it is the absolute number, not important. It is the connections between them. So if we are more connected to each other, perhaps we are going to get more output. More studies with the fMRI, EEG, hormonal assay need to understand these changes, particularly those which are with the Jain lifestyle and meditation. I again put it, there is a need of amalgamating advancing scientific knowledge with the ancient philosophical knowledge. I think I have explained to the best of the simple language which I can, but I also agree that I have loaded you with a lot of information. So there are going to be many questions. queries, and perhaps this is the only one which is there in the human being, the inquisitiveness. That's the quality, and I'm sure you will use it much more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor and Sanchetee, for discussing about brain and its functions. And as you have also indicated about the areas of research. So where is some new scope for doing work in this field? So that is also very beneficial or very guiding to our participants. I would request Professor Kachara for saying few words.
Brain, of course, has
Can you stop sharing the slides? Sanchetee, yes. Okay.
the brain, as mentioned by Dr. Sanchetee, is a very important part of our body. Another term which has been used is mind. So whether the mind and brain are same, scientifically they are same. So as far as the science is concerned, brain also acts as mind. And how does it do is a different question, and they are trying to find out different kinds of explanations as how the brain acts as mind. But philosophically, mind is entirely different from brain. Although mind and brain are interconnected, but they are separate entities as far as the philosophy is concerned. But that is that question is beyond the purview of science, as far as Dr. Sanchetee would mention. So I would now request participants to ask questions to Dr. Sanchetee. I hope they have seen the video earlier, and that is why I requested Dr. Sanchetee to only summarize his lecture, and that he has done very beautifully in half an hour time. So now it is all open to participants for questions.
Jai Jinendra, Sanchetee sir, it was really wonderful lecture. भाव जो जैन कंसेप्ट में जो भाव मन है उनका इसका कोई साइंटिफिक और ये है क्या और भाव मन है क्या, इज इट जरा उसके पे प्रकाश डालेंगे भाव मन के ऊपर।
भाव मन,
हाँ जी,
मतलब इमोशन, माइंड विद कनेक्टेड विद द इमोशंस, दैट्स व्हाट यू आर मेंशनिंग।
well, is it the same? Bauman is an emotion is.
See, we in the Jainism there are two type of minds: Dravya mind and the Bhav mind. Am I correct? And you are asking about the Bhav man. Yes, sir.
Yes.
So the Bhav man, if scientifically, if I have to put it, they are in continuum. And which I propose, because the soul has never been touched in the science so far. But what I propose is that they are in continuum. The brain, it develops into the Dravyaman, then it goes into the Bhavaman, and then it goes to the soul. That's how the functioning is there. What we feel that it is an electrochemical system. The Bhavaman, Dravyaman, and the Bhavaman, they are electrochemical systems on which the brain functions. That's what Dr. Kachara has already told, that they are interconnected, but they are separate one. As per the religion is concerned, they are separate one. But science perhaps are believing that they are in continuum. They develop from one to another.
Right, because it is believed that the animals who they do not have big brain, but because of bhav, they have bhavman, and then so probably maybe that it is connected with emotion.
To my understanding, all animals, including the human being, whether it's a single cell organism, unicellular organisms like amoeba and paramecium, and to the most developed human being, we all have got mind. That's what my understanding is. But their mind is in the very dormant or very small stage. Cannot be quantified with our current knowledge. But if you look into the functioning of that one, they also get spurs. The spurs is there in the amoeba and the paramecium also. And they keep on away from the harmful environment. So if the mind is not there, if intelligence is not there, perhaps they may not be able to do. That is my argument. But the philosophical, they are the different organisms, arguments, and they will not be agreeing to this point. I agree with it. I acknowledge that disagreement.
Very true, sir.
So now
So, sir,
Chandani Shah has some question. Is there some other question, Lathia
Yeah, Haji, 1 minute, sir. Sir, what about the Sangni and unsangni Sangi genes? Like, so did we say it is unsangni? Means no brain, no physical brain, is it?
Correct. It's no physical demonstrable brain. That's
Okay.
what I put it. It is the no physical demonstrable brain. Brain,
Right,
brain means perception,
Right.
analysis, storage, reactions. If you take that as a corollary of we don't call it brain, we call it as a nervous system. So if you take that
Right.
corollary, perhaps every organism, being it single unicellular organism to the highest developed, we all have got the nervous system. But this
Yes,
system
sir.
is not the fully developed in the unicellular. But if you keep on having it, though the Darwin's is a different issue, I have not touched today, but it is a developing from the single cell, we have developed to the multicellular and multi-organ individual. Sorry.
Thank you, sir. Jai Jinendra. Thank
Yes.
you very much. It was wonderful. Jai Jinendra, sir.
Judginess.
So Chandani Shah.
Vandabhinam Swami Samiji, and thank you, Dr. Sanchetee, for the lecture. I only read the notes, we didn't have the videos. But what my question is, you mentioned meditation with regards to the brain or the nervous system. So some research might have been done. You might have had some results, or there might be some evidence that it improves the plasticity of the brain. So my question is, if meditation has been researched, what type of meditation has been researched on, and which particular part of the brain it's helping? If possible, I would like to know.
Yeah. While some research has been done at the Jain Vishwa Bharati, under me, Samniji has done the EEG studies while doing the meditation. And what we have found out, to answer one of your question, one part of your question, that meditation suppresses the parietal lobe. Perception improve it. So the brain waves which are there in the parietal lobe, they get suppressed. And in contrast, the frontal lobe, the lobe which is there in the front, concerned with the reasoning, judgment, emotions, that gets sharpened. That's what. And same thing has come out in the fMRI, functional MRI studies. But Trixa meditation and the functional MRI studies have not been done so far. Some studies have been done related to the EEGs. Even hormonal studies have not been done with the Trixa meditation, but other form of meditation, trance meditation or the Buddhist meditation, they have done a lot. And they have found out that the hormones, what important point comes out in those one is that sympathetic goes down and parasympathetic goes up. That is the basic which is there. Sympathetic. It means you organize you keep on thinking. If you look into the elephant,
Yes.
it's like as if he's observing something.
Yeah.
He's developing himself. Whereas the horse is just there, concerning with his action.
Yeah. Too much
So-
movement.
Yeah, moment, and then he's not bothered about the environment.
Yeah.
If he will bothered about the environment, he will lose his speed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so both are needed.
Mhm.
Horse is needed for the security,
Yes.
for the prey, whereas the elephant is needed. So both are needed. But what we have done, that we have found out, approximately it has been said that our brain is approximately 55 to 60% left brain.
Yeah.
We are just calculating, we are respecting the brain, which is much more in the logical.
Yeah.
If you have got a higher number in the classroom, you are being appreciated.
Better. Yeah. Yeah.
But you will not be appreciated better if you have donated something coming when you are coming to the classroom and
Yeah.
donating something out of your own pocket and own things, which is
Yeah.
we are teaching in the religion.
Yes.
So,
True.
to develop the right brain, and
Mhm.
second thing, sympathetic brain comes down, and the parasympathetic. Perhaps these are the two simple one, rather than going into the details of the fMRI and the
Okay.
EEG.
Great. And the Preksha meditation, any particular meditation you chose for the studies?
This
For
is the what this one which has been developed by the Acharya Mahapragya ji.
Acharya Shri, that one. Okay.
That way.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Now, Hansha, yeah.
Um, uh, Namaskar, Samniji and Professor Sanchetee ji. My question is, how is our emotional path working when we hear something? How does it, I mean, it's just like basic fundamental. I want to understand how does it go through the brain and what happens? Is it possible to explain in short? Maybe I'm the dumbest student, but
No.
I would like to know.
Now, yours is the how emotions. See, one is
What
the reaction.
the path of path of emotions, how does it go? Just like our, when I got cut in my hand, my sensation goes to the brain.
Yeah.
We know that, but how are the emotions working? That just I want to know. How, in the brain, what happens? What kind of reactions? What part of brain does it go? Who helps to understand? How do we react? You know.
Okay. If you look into it's the same thing which, as you rightly said, when you get a cut, you
Yeah.
react to it.
Yeah.
You first remove your finger from that side and then, sorry. So that is the normal way. But if you are in a further complicating situation where your existence is in danger, will you bother for the cut?
No.
Perhaps no. You will look for the danger to be out, then look for the cut. The same thing for the emotions. What priority you have adjusted in your mind. So inputs are there, they are just constantly coming to you. Inputs, whether from the outside, from your own body, and non-verbal communications from the others. You are getting it every day, and from the every second you are getting it. So emotion is just a reaction. It is a reaction to the, and how you develop it, emotions, and it develops whether you are predominantly or your body has developed into the predominantly sympathetic one or a parasympathetic. It all depends upon. So if you are, how you shape your body, how you shape your psyche. So body is the one portion, but the emotion comes out of the psyche. So how you shape your psyche, that is the much more important. And the meditation is the one which calms down your psyche, which limits your psyche. What we put it, that in meditation, you cut off your inputs. That is the way, say, like a computer works best when the few files are open. if I had to teach a young person, I had to teach him that way, that if you cut down the files on your computer, it will work very fast. If you got too many files, the virus is going to be added every second. Though I have not answered you fully, our next lecture will be there. In the last lecture, we'll be touching this point much.
And there was some short question. You had said something short memory. It stays for a very short time. And can that, what is the importance of that? And did you say something about hair trimming or trimming? What is that?
Pruning.
Yes, pruning. What?
Just like our haircut, and I shape my head and other things. So first, short-term memory. You are getting constantly bombarded with the information. If you start acknowledging and storing, acknowledging, you have to acknowledge. You can't go away from acknowledging it. But how you react, if you keep on storing, there will be a lot of big job for the brain to sort it out, to classify it, to store it. So what happens? It stores only the information which is there, which is needed for you, which is either from your past experience, you know it is needed. Or if you know that, yes, it is relevant for me. So you correlate with this one. The memory which comes with the correlation is go into the long term. Short term is the one which, it's as I gave you example of the RAM.
Mm-hmm.
Once you close your laptop or mobile, everything washes out.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas those things which are there in the hard disk, it remains intact.
Okay.
So that's
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Bhatia has some question.
yes, please.
Mandami Namosami, Professor, Dr. Saab. It's a wonderful, very, very inspiring, profound lecture. My basic question is कि memory बचपन से ही stored होती है हर जीव में. मेरे ख्याल से आपका लेक्चर जैसे 4 लोग हैं उनमें त्रियंच और मनुष्य इन दो को एड्रेस करता है. तो मेरा पहला सवाल है कि नारकी और देव लोकों के बारे में बंदामी नमोस्वामी मेरा इंप्रेशन है कि देवों के शरीर नहीं होता, तो शरीर नहीं होता तो ब्रेन नहीं होता. ये सवाल सही है या गलत है?
हाँ, ऐसा है सब भाटिया साहब कि इस क्वेश्चन को शायद कछारा साहब या समनी जी बेटर आंसर करेंगे, क्योंकि नारकीय और देवीय ऑर्गेनिजम्स में मैं बहुत ज्यादा ज्ञान नहीं रखता. पर जहां तक मेरी समझ है, मैं सिर्फ अपनी समझ की बात कर रहा हूँ. Yes, they work on the neurochemicals, the electrochemicals. They work on the electrochemicals, whether it is a narkia or is a human being or it is the lower animals. That's my understanding. But the correct answer will come from Samni ji or Kachara sahab.
Kachara sahab, would you like to say something?
That's right. See, Narki and Dev, they have Vakric body. So they don't have a physical body like us. So there is no brain in Dev and Narki, and therefore there is no electrochemical system or something like this. They have mind. So mind is a subtle unit. And so that mind works, and there is no system of brain and mind together. That system is not there, is absent in Dev and Narki. It's only mind which is working.
Okay, so here just I want to say one thing, that according to Jainism, in human body we find 6 systems which are known as 6 biopotentials or paryaptis. In the case of especially the heavenly beings, celestial beings, the mind and the speech system both are interconnected. So that's why Acharya Mahapragya ji used to say that if you want to stop your brain or non-stop chatting of your brain, you should concentrate on your throat, because throat, speech system and the brain both are very connected. So if your speech system or vocal cord is active, then brain is also active. So if you want to come out of this unnecessary thinking or non-stop chatting of mind, you should concentrate more on throat rather than on brain. So that and in the case, and he was telling on the basis of this that the heavenly beings have these two systems are interconnected. Their brain, their mind is working. They are communicating with Tirthankars, and Tirthankars are also answering at mental level to the deities or to the celestial beings. So as Kachara Sahib has said that they have mind, it is true that they have mind. According to Jainism, mind means when you start thinking, then mind comes into play. And it is not all the times. So when you are thinking, then only the mind comes into play or into existence. It is not all the times, even in the human case.
This reminds me of one of my interactions I had with one of my friends in the few days back. He said that if you don't have got language, he says if language has not been developed in you, perhaps many vikar, jo odd things say, they will stop. But that was the thing, a question from a lay person. And he said that it's because we have got some language to express. That's why the things come into all odd things comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These both are interconnected, or you can say both are affecting each other.
Okay.
Yeah. So mind is there in the case of deities or gods, heavenly gods.
आप unmute करिए आलोक जैन सर.
आलोक जैन, you are muted.
अनम्यूट करिए सर, अनम्यूट करिए.
तो सवाल ये था कि ये संचेती साहब, ये इसका तो कर्म शरीर से माइंड और ब्रेन का क्या कनेक्शन?
I'll be taking this part in later on, but what in the simple word I wish to say, that karma are also like a electrochemical system. And each unit, each karma has got its own electrochemical reactions or electrochemical constituent, which interacts with the existing constituent which is there already in our brain. It pollutes, like it pollutes our laptop or computer, and it creates a virus, or it works as an antivirus. So that's how the karma acts in that way. That is in scientific language I am putting up, not in the philosophical language. So the karma is intimately connected to the functioning of the brain and mind. That's our understanding is.
But I think the way, if I understood you correctly, the way you are explaining it is that the chemicals are already there. So what is it? What is the brain or mind receiving from the Karam Sharif?
Receiving from?
The Karam Sharif.
With the karmas.
The energy?
Yeah, it's a electrochemical energy. Either it's if you say there's no physical touch, then it's the electrical, the cosmic rays. It's not the electric, is a true to say, cosmic rays. Whether they are from the celestial, or whether they are from the other planets, or they are from the other persons, or from our own actions. We are being bombarded with the rays every time and every day and every second. It keeps on changing our brain and the mind. That's how scientifically we can explain that the brain changes each second, each microsecond, it keeps on changing. And this change occurs whether to the good or bad, depending upon the inputs which are there whether they are virus or they are antivirus.
तो एक सवाल फिर मैं समझी जी से और कचारा साहब से भी पूछूं कि क्या देव में और नारकी में कर्म शरीर है?
Karma Sharira.
जी
Karmas are always there, till you get liberated. The karma Sharira is always there with you. Whether you are in the Dev Paryaya or Narki Paryaya or Manushu Paryaya, Tiranj Paryaya, anything. The karma Sharira is always there.
तो कार्बन शरीर वो जो सो देव और नारकी का जो कनेक्शन है कर्म शरीर का उनकी बॉडी से obviously that's very different from the interaction that humans have with their कर्म शरीर.
See, the difference is in the body, they have a Vakric body, which is also is a subtle kind of thing, and we have this Odaric body or this physical material body, So we are always thinking of actions of karma in the body. That's what we have been discussing here in this particular course. How what is the relation between karma and the body. But this whole thing does not apply to Dev or Narki, because they don't have the body which we have, So this entire course is limited to the Manushya Paryaya and animals. Human beings and animals. And this course is not applicable to Dev and Narki, remember that. Okay? Because they don't have a body like us.
जी.
Yeah, so the whole system is different. The whole system is different in Dev and Narki, So that requires a separate discussion.
जी, yeah.
Any other question? So I think all the questions are answered. And I'm thankful to Professor Sanchetee ji and Kachara ji for addressing to all our participants and explaining the concept of brain and its various activities. So we have already one book also. If somebody wants to see the connection with brain, of karma with brain, then we have already the book Neuroscience and Karma. So you can also study that book. And if you have questions, you can ask Professor Sanchetee and Kachara sir. Okay, so Bhatia sir has some question.
Swami, Dr. Kachara, last week Dr. Kachara ने लेशिया और अध्यवसाय के बारे में कहा था, तो मैं इतना ही जानना चाहता हूँ कि ब्रेन या माइंड जो उनके हिसाब से कंप्लीटली अलग हैं और जनरल लाइफ में मेरा गलत कॉन्सेप्ट था कि ब्रेन और माइंड एक ही है, और जबकि इनको इंद्रिय नहीं कहा गया है, इंद्रियों में नहीं माना गया है। अब मेरा सवाल है आप दोनों से कि अध्यवसाय और लेशिया किस तरह से ब्रेन से अफेक्टेड होते हैं?
No, I mean, you put it the other way around. How do Adhyavasa and Lesha affect brain rather than the other way around, So that probably is a better question, So the Lesha, as I told you, are supposed to interact with endocrine glands, particularly the thalamus, which Dr. Sanchetee has explained to you today, thalamus and the pituitary gland, these two are the master glands. So the lesha are supposed to interact with these glands, and these glands in turn control other glands and the entire system of hormone secretions. So this is the concept. This is the genuine concept. It's and the science will not accept the presence of Lesha at all. Okay. So that is one part. Adhyavasaya, as I told you last time, is a phenomena which is taking place in the soul. Okay. So there are the soul experiences vibrations under the actions of karma. Because, okay, so that is adhyavasaya. It's a kind of vibrations the soul experiences at any time is adhyavasaya. And Leshya is the expression of this. Leshya is a kind of expression, which is, it expresses the whole thing in the body. Okay, so the three terms are different.
Dhanyavad.
Okay. So thank you to all our experts and participants. So we have another talk, and might be some of the questions you will get the answer of those questions in the next talk. And that is also related to brain and its functions and some other things. So Professor Sanchetee will address. So be on time. Thank you very much.
These lectures will be uploaded. The ones
Yes. These lectures are uploading, and you can see on what we say week 13.
Yeah, because they weren't there before. There was only a PDF file. So they will be uploaded these 2 days.
Yeah, today I have told to Suril and also the Pragneshmai, because we got these recordings just 1 day before.
Okay.
So yeah, so might be they are uploading on channel, and then they are uploading the links on Google Class. So within 1 day, might be they would be available on week 13 module.
Okay.
The reading material is already uploaded, and might be you all have got it.
Yes, there was reading material. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so thank you. All the recordings would be in a particular module, and there would be topic also. And you are getting all these what we say informations, and also all these material on your email account.
Yes, we are getting.
Okay. So thanks, Professor Sanchetee, for coming and addressing.
Thank you, Sanchetee sir. Thank
And
you.
Kachara Sahib is always there to guide us, all of us. So it is a really very good course which has been prepared, and we will upload all the quizzes, but not this time. This time we have given only 2 assignments, just research paper and presentation. So next time the participants will get also the quizzes, so that they can check their knowledge, whether they have got what is being taught through courses, and if they have some other questions, they can also raise. But this time, because it is taking time, that's why we have not provided quizzes as assignment. And since all the senior scholars are there, so they are already working on serious topic or serious projects. So research paper is more important for them also and for us also. Thank you. Now we are leaving. Thank you.
Thank you, Vandami Samuniji. Thank you all. Vandami.